Today I'm reviewing the Manfrotto 128RC micro fluid head. This is an entry-level fluid head from Manfrotto that is aimed squarely at the home video maker and amateur filmmaker. At its core, the 128RC is a very simple fluid head. It has two fluid cartridges for smoothing out those pans and tilts. It's much smaller than more professional fluid heads like the Manfrotto 502HD and does away with more sophisticated, precise fluid resistance controls. It replaces them with simple knobs that can adjust the drag a bit and lock each axis individually. The 128RC can carry cameras of up to 9 pounds in weight, and this is more than enough for most modern camcorders, DSLRs, and mirrorless cameras, even with mid-range zoom lenses on them. What I also like about the 128RC is the compactness of its handle, which measures about 11 inches. The handle is much smaller than handles on bigger fluid heads, and this helps if you're shooting in tight spaces. The handle is removable and can be mounted on either the left or right hand side, depending on which hand you prefer to use. The head can be mounted to any tripod with a 3/8 inch male thread, and that can be a tripod from any brand. I'll put links to the tripod I used here, the Manfrotto 290 series, and a less expensive tripod that I recommend. Just screw off the previously mounted head and screw on your fluid head. Now make sure to lock your pan axis completely before tightening the head onto the tripod. This helps to mount the head to the tripod securely. Cameras mount to the 128RC using a Manfrotto rapid connector plate, the RC2. The RC2 has a standard 1/4 male thread with a very thoughtful locking handle on the bottom. I absolutely hate connector plates with just a regular screw. It's almost as if they assume you carry a screwdriver or a coin around all the time. Thankfully, Manfrotto has a locking handle on the RC2 plate. You can get additional RC2 plates and mount them on each camera you own. That way you can switch cameras out quickly. I'll leave links to additional plates in the description below in case you need them. The plate with the camera mounted snaps into place on the video head. The plate can be released by turning the locking lever clockwise. There's also a brass locking pin that locks the plate and prevents you from accidentally bumping the locking lever and releasing the camera. Very thoughtful feature. Now to test the 128RC, I've mounted the Panasonic G7 to it, and the whole setup is supported on a Manfrotto 290 series tripod. I'm going to show you a couple of different pan and tilt shots that I captured. Having used the 502HD head for a few years now, I must say I was pleasantly surprised with the 128RC. It was simple to set up in the field, and shots were extremely smooth with no tinkering required. More professional fluid heads usually require more tuning to get a good result. The 128RC smoothly glided through both pan and tilt shots with very little adjustment, as you can see in these shots. There was no jitteriness or shaking as long as you applied even pressure throughout. Just a tip for using fluid heads in general: start out a bit outside your initial frame and end past your final desired frame. Our hands are usually more jittery and shaky when starting and stopping, and if you start shooting before your initial frame and keep moving past your final frame, you can cut the raw video down in post-production and get a nice smooth shot. Overall, I was very impressed with this little fluid head. It's extremely well designed, well built, compact, light, and simple to use. It doesn't require any serious fine tuning and just does the job magnificently. It's much cheaper than most professional fluid heads and is more than enough for most home video makers and amateur filmmakers. It really adds production value to your videos without breaking the bank. The only thing that was strangely missing was a simple fluid level, but that isn't such a huge issue for most amateur movie makers. I absolutely recommend the 128RC to anyone looking to get their first fluid video head. I'll leave a link to this item in the description below in case you're looking to buy it. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more reviews. Thanks for watching.